Hello guys, so this will be a video of my Aprilia Tuono V4 factory. It's a 2015 model and I'm gonna talk about the good and the bad. So as always, this is gonna be a personal and honest opinion about what I feel about the bike. And yeah, I've been owning this bike for 6 months now. Been riding it both on the street and on the track. So this time around I will change it up a little bit and start with the bad and then go to the good stuff. So one thing I don't like so much about the Tuono is that it's pretty twitchy in low speeds, especially in first gear. And it doesn't really matter in what riding mode you use, the throttle connection is not very good. The ride by wire isn't really good as the newer Aprilias, so that's one thing that you should be aware of, that it's pretty twitchy. So another thing is the electronics on this bike. It's not very user friendly, I would say. So once I set the mode that I want to have, I tend to keep it that way because I don't want to go into the menu again and change it up. So that's one thing that I really don't like so much about it. So in connection to that, I actually made a short video on my YouTube channel to explain the riding modes and how to change them and what they mean. So obviously the fuel economy on this bike is not the greatest comparing to other super nakeds that I used to have. I mean, it's not a big issue for me, but that's something you should be aware of, that you have to visit the fuel station quite often. So one thing I miss on this bike is that I used to have the BMW S1000R before, and that bike was even 1 year older model. It was a 2014. But it still had like features like heated grips, cruise control and semi-active suspension. I'm also going to get a higher windscreen on this one to make it a little bit more comfortable. But yeah, those things you tend to miss sometimes when you're going to do some longer journeys or traveling. So despite of that, I really think this is a pretty comfortable super naked, to be honest. If you compare it to other ones, I mean, I have done longer journeys on it, as I said, and I really think it's a comfortable bike. The standard seat is comfy for longer rides, as comfortable as my previous MT10, which actually had a comfort seat, so I think you could compare it to that one. This seat is really comfortable, and it's much more comfortable than the previous generation that I have tried also. The leg angle is also pretty comfortable. I have no issues compared to my previous S1000R or my Ducati Monster that I used to have. That leg angle was much more difficult, and after 1 hour or two you feel the pain in your knees, but I don't feel this kind of issues on this bike. I should say that I'm 180 centimeters tall. Also there's not so much vibrations either. I only feel a little bit in my right toes riding the Tuono, so that's a good thing also. If you compare it to, like I said, the S1000R has a little bit more vibrations. So let's talk about suspension. Well, I'm pretty picky when it comes to suspension, and this bike has a really good suspension, as you probably know already. It's quite comfortable for longer journeys, as I said, and you can dial it in and you can adjust it if you want to do a track day or if you want to take it to longer journeys. It's a super comfortable suspension. So yeah, I must say I'm surprised that I can spend long days in the saddle without being tired on this bike. I should say that I weigh 70 kilos, so I think the suspension is well set up for me. So obviously another great thing about this bike is the engine. I'm not going to talk too much about that because you already know how amazing this bike is. Yeah, the way it delivers its power, the perfect balance of a torquey twin and an inline 4. And I want to say that it's not, you know, about how fast you get to the next corner. It's about the enjoyment you feel getting to the corner, and I can tell you that this is a lot of fun. I've been ridden and owned quite a few Super Nakeds, and when I first hopped on this one, I could say that I was a bit scared. It kind of whispered to me to go faster and faster, and that was a new experience for me. I haven't experienced that before. So as I said, I've been taking it to track a few times this year, and I still haven't been able to squeeze out everything. It feels like there is no end to the power on this bike, and that's an amazing feeling. So I mean, the overall performance of this bike is amazing. It's a serious track weapon, and the bike that I choose over the other Super Nakeds in the segment and in the production year. It's a perfect track weapon, as I said, and that's why I bought it. Like I said, I had previous Super Nakeds before, but this one really stands out if you wanted to take it to track and to be competitive on the track with a Super Naked. So another great thing about this bike, I must say, is the reliability. I have had zero issues with it so far, and I've been it's already got 15,000 kilometers on the clock, so zero issues there. That's a really good thing about the bike. And talking about the reliability, if I compare it to the S1000R, the 2014 model that I used to have, it had so many issues that I eventually just had to sell the bike because it had too many issues. So yeah, reliability wise, this have been a bit of a surprise actually. So really hope you liked the video. If you did, give it a thumbs up and subscribe, because my next video will be about the changes and upgrades I'm going to do with the bike. So stay tuned. See you in the next one.